What's up, guys? Welcome to Kyloe Un'Moo'ted, where we sit down with leaders of the staffing industry, especially in the bullhorn marketplace, to talk all things technology and recruiting. Today with me, I have one of my favorite guests, Andy Moss, co-founder of 3D-IQ. What's going on, Andy?
Hey, Rob, how are you?
I am doing fantastic. I've just booked a trip to come visit you up in Tennessee and go whitewater rafting in North Carolina. So
Oh, yeah.
my day's pretty fulfilled.
We're ready for you.
Yeah, I also have you can't see it, but I have little footballs on this T-shirt, American footballs for my Scottish viewers. So I am all ready for U.S. football season to start as well, and I'm nerding out over here. Also, my boss likes to tell me that he knows I'm doing something live when I have a collar on and my hair is combed. So thank you for that, Martin. Anyway, so Andy and I, if you didn't see it, during Engage, 3D-IQ and Kyloe announced a partnership in the sense that Kyloe has recognized that creating a client portal is not something that is easy or fun to do necessarily all the time, especially when people want it bespoke or custom. And 3D-IQ has fantastic technology. So one of the things that we are doing is promoting the 3D-IQ client portal over to our customers and to anyone asking for it. But with that said, what we wanted to do is actually sit down with Andy and talk about stuff that 3D-IQ does that's really unique and really innovative for the industry, while also, it involves the client portal more or less. So just kind of talk about ways to save time, get better efficiency, drive ROI. And so, what we're going to focus on is really 3 tips to basically get ROI out of perhaps being more innovative in how you submit candidates to your customers. Is that pretty accurate, Andy?
Absolutely accurate. You did a great job introing that.
Yeah, sorry. A lot of context. Andy, so number one, so why don't you give just make this as, if you're going to do the 30-second elevator pitch of 3D-IQ, and then we can talk about how we drive efficiency, through Awesome Docs and 3D-IQ for the submittal process.
Sure. We were the very first marketplace partner to tackle this submission. Actually, I guess marketing from your submission of your resumes. I'm also an owner of a staffing agency, and it was a hole in the market. And with Bullhorn, we just wanted to enhance that and make it better, and driving feedback and making your client engagement. It's about your brand. You can't, your brand is everything. So we tackled that in the marketplace, and it's been going great ever since then.
So if I had to summarize that for people, 3D-IQ is a digital way, not attach a resume with some bullet points and email it. It's a more digital forward way of submitting resumes to your clients.
Absolutely.
Yes?
Think about
okay.
Yep.
So
digital.
What Kyloe does is, with our clients is, and you guys, there's a little bit of crossover, but we make it so that you can use Microsoft's Word's templates to create either branded resumes or brand new entire, I call them profiles, for your candidates. Or if you're working in travel nursing, you can create a submission pack. And then what happens is 3D-IQ comes in, and Andy, you can take over
we grab it and we add it to we send links instead of attachments. So you can do so much more from a link. You can actually have insight into who's opening it, how long they're looking at it. You can add things like hyperlinks to it. So if you want to add someone's LinkedIn profile, or you want to add documents like reference checks or portfolios, all of that's housed in the link. So we grab what Awesome Docs produces, and we slam it into 3D-IQ, and then we present that to your customer in a digitized way.
So instead of just being limited to bullet points and a physical document, maybe so you can include, all the way up to like a video interview in a link.
Video interview, pictures. Anything. And we put your brand on it. Like it's customized to you. So you differentiate yourself from your competitors through our links.
Yeah, and so we'll get a little bit into more of the metric-based ROI there in a second. But what I like to think about is, sort of tip one, right? Like, let's speed up and create more efficiency and more of a modern way to submit someone. So the benefit of Awesome Docs to the brand is that you are going to, without leaving Bullhorn, create, whether it's one document or an entire nurse profile, right, with credentials and
Yep.
reference skills checklist, resume, all that stuff can be pushed into one PDF with a few clicks, possibly saving 30 minutes, possibly saving 10, 15, still saving a boatload of time. And then what happens is it gets placed into or pulled into either a client portal, which, I think it's everyone's dream to be their own VMS, Andy.
Yeah. Nah,
You have a modern client portal that is real time and interactive and digital, like what 3DIQ provides. It can be an incredible experience for a brand to differentiate itself as its own MSP VMS. That's a different conversation. But we get the time back to the recruiter to build relationships and not spend doing admin work. What happens on the client side? What do the clients tell you about wanting a different experience of how they interact with a submittal, essentially?
Well, our clients, when I'm talking about the staffing industry and our clients that we send 3DIQ links to, are loving the fact that they can use, I hate to say this cell phone right here, in the third of our resumes are viewed via mobile device.
Okay.
Have you ever tried to open up a PDF on your mobile device? It's like almost impossible downloading it. So when you send a link and they can just hit that link just like they hit the PDF and it opens up and now they've got everything at their fingertips. Your customers are begging for this. They're not, you don't do it because it's easy for you. You're doing it because it's easier on your client. Everything we do in the industry is to what's that experience like on our customer side. Trust me, we'll get into the data here in a little bit, but they're all begging for you to do this. It's just our industry is slow to move to this change, but it's catching on with the ones we're bringing on, and they're seeing the return, and it's been great.
Yeah, and I think a thumbs up, a thumbs down, workflow all the way into Bullhorn automation, because you can drop a note type into Bullhorn in particular to enable different workflows to kick off. Like if return down, that automatic rejection email can get kicked out to the candidate. Positive, maybe send a follow-up like, hey, I need to talk with you to schedule an interview, or they're ready to talk about an interview, so let's get on the phone. All that can be automated for you because of the way that interacts in Bullhorn. And talk about number one, what is the feedback from a brand perspective, from a brand loyalty perspective, when you offer a more modern way to submit and get feedback? And by the way, let's be honest. If you're working with a client who also is the head of HR and is also in charge of recruiting, like a smaller client, let's be honest, they can never find good talent. So they should be working with the staffing industry, because you know how hard it is to recruit and find good talent. It's not a pivot seat role. It's really hard to do that really well. I'm sure there are, but it's not common to do that well. And that's if you see HR and recruiting is the same person in a company and you're a recruiter or a salesperson, you definitely want to go talk to that person. Especially if they're in their ICP. But once you get that contract with them, have you been, what do you see in terms of brand loyalty, being on brand, being able to productize your offering to your clients, and just in terms of this is tip 2, we can stay on brand easier.
Your brand is all that you are. So your customers are with you because of who you are, maybe as a sales rep or an owner. They're not, your competitors are doing everything from sending emails to text. But what we do is we try to engage with your customers right there inside the link, like the thumbs up, thumbs down, keep them there, get the feedback right away. One of the questions that I see coming through is what industries do we seem to respond? We work with industrial clients, we work with engineering, technical, IT, even retained search. Because if you're producing someone that's a 100, 200 grand type salary, they need your resumes and your link need to look like that. If you're just sending over a PDF with a logo of your company, maybe in the right-hand corner, you're behind the times. Everybody is zooming past that and getting into this.
Have you seen any specific industries, Andy, to Alyssa's question here?
Industry, I mean, the IT and technical markets, absolutely. The mobile side of our viewing links on the industrial side, because those industrial managers are not at their desk. They are on the plant floor. They are walking all over. With our client portal, you can send over entire tear sheets of who you have lined up to go. You can send over, I mean, put them on your website, do whatever. But we cover them all. But all of them see a benefit. It's kind of crazy. We enhance what you already do. We don't really try to change what you're trying to do. We just make it better.
Well, I think it's not even better. It's just with the times, right? Like the submittal process might as well be as old as email. Right? Okay. Like, so, you can email it over with a few bullet points and attachments. And I think that's really the difference. So, Lisa, thank you for the question. Max, I am not doing a backflip on camera. I'm sorry, buddy. That's just
I want to see that.
Anyway, okay. So staying on brand, focusing on this word just modern stays in my head, right? It's like I remember creating bullet points for my doctors that I was submitting, like, has this license, has no malpractice, is board certified in emergency medicine, is willing to work X amount of shifts, like. Mm-hmm. And then you sent that via email, and you might get a response 3 days later, unless they're like desperate for that help. But anyway, Andy, we got to end with some impactful some data here, some storytelling in that data. So, what have you seen from an ROI perspective?
I'll give you a real quick story. So we're all at Engage. You were there, I was there. We were sitting there, and we partner with Cube 19,
which is now what is it called now? Bullhorn Analytics.
Bullhorn Analytics. I'm not used to the terms now, but Bullhorn Analytics. So Cube 19 hands us a document. They partner with some of our customers, and they said, "Hey, here's one of your customers' data that we pulled." And I was like, "Holy cow!" So for all the resumes they sent, they tracked the ones that were sent through 3DIQ and ones that were sent the old-fashioned way. The ones the old-fashioned got 10% open rate, 30% feedback from ours. So
10% meaning like,
what
does that mean?
Feedback was 30%.
Oh, like only, so yeah. They received rate of feedback
on their old fashioned way, 30% feedback from ours. And then here's the other one. The hires, they got 30% more hires and 10% on the ones that were the old fashioned way. So 3x. And so it hit us right in the face. It's like, why didn't you give us this before Engage? But it was amazing to see the ROI that we knew when we developed it. It was because I'm the owner of the company. We saw it, but showing everybody that who would not want, 3 more fees.
So that's a big. That could be a big number for each month.
You could pay for 3DIQ in the first month. That's the fun stuff for me. I want creating change in the industry that I've been in 25 years was all that this is about.
Got it. Well, that sounds fantastic. So, you guys, real quick, again, in terms of like the 3 tips, number 1, it's going to save you time, be more efficient, and help you digitize. Also going to help you stay on brand. And then who doesn't want, the 30% increase, or it's not an increase, it's a 30% feedback / how many more placements was it?
It's, for every, I guess, 30% over 10%. I'm a simple guy.
The math's not happening. My brain's not doing the math. Anyway, guys, it's going to help you. Number 1, it's going to help you look more modern to your customers. I keep thinking that. I'm like, oh my God, like, why would you not want to be able to differentiate how you submit? And even if they don't want it, you're like, hey, everyone's going this way. We have this really cool modern tool, and it makes your life easier. Try it once. If you hate it, great. But I guarantee you, especially for light industrial, if this guy on his plant floor could go, like, hey, these guys aren't showing up, but I have I can see the portal. So anyway,
we have companies that literally will just say, I want this one, this one, this one. Have them here tomorrow.
Yeah, sweet. So all right, guys. Well, that's all we got for you. Andy, can you do a backflip on camera for me?
You don't want to see that.
And Lauren, my marketing manager or marketing director, no, I cannot do a backflip. So thank you for that. She sent me a Teams message. She's like, can you really do a backflip?
Yeah.
Anyway, so if you guys want to learn more, check out the 3diq.com/discover, which is in the comments. Thank you, Tim, for putting it in there. Max and Alyssa, thanks for your comments and questions. And Andy, as always, brother, thank you for your time, man.
Hey, can't wait to have you up here in East Tennessee.
Super excited to get up there and do some rafting. And
they would do it live from the lake.
We could do that, but people are gonna be very jealous. So Andy has a pretty sweet house on a river, so maybe we'll do it live there.
Camper on the river. I'm from East Tennessee. We have camp.
Even better. God damn. Right. Anyway.